If you're just starting out to learn ancient Greek, the Gospel of John is hands down the best place to begin. And it's not just tradition or opinion, there's data behind this. Let me show you why. The hardest part of learning a new language is vocabulary. Not just memorizing words, but understanding how they work together, how they form thoughts, sentences, and meaning in context. John gives you just enough new vocabulary to stretch your skills without overwhelming you. That balance is key. If we click on the main menu, we can go to the chapter chart. What we're looking at here is new lexeme density. Essentially, how many new words are you introduced to in every 300-word segment of the New Testament? At the start of John, there's a spike, and that's expected. There's a lot of new words, but then very quickly that number drops. We see in the first 300-word segment, there are 87 new lexemes. But by the time we get to the fifth 300-word segment, which spans John 2:22 to John 3:14, we only have 22 new lexemes. And by the time we get to group 14, which is John 6:17 to 32, we have only 11 new lexemes. By the time you're 6 or 7 chapters in, you're only seeing about an average of 10 and a half new words per segment through the end of the Gospel of John. That means more word reuse and faster comprehension. And this is huge for morale. Chapter 1 of John 1 might take a month. It's vocabulary heavy and you'll be new to the language. But then chapter 2, easier. Chapter 3, even easier. By John 6 or 7 or 8, your pace picks up dramatically. You're reading more fluently, building confidence, and learning faster. In the YAWTL reader, all new lexemes are highlighted in yellow. That lets you track what you've learned and what's still unfamiliar. And if a word isn't highlighted but you don't recognize it, that's your signal. You've seen it before, but haven't retained it yet. Time to review. Let's quickly go back to the chapter chart. And let's look at the new lexeme density if we started with Matthew instead of John. The red bars show new lexeme density if you started with that book instead. Unlike John, Matthew doesn't ease up as quickly. It stays consistently heavy with new words, making it much harder to build momentum early on. That's why we read John first, and why even after finishing John, the beginning of Matthew still feels a little bit tough. So start with John, track your new vocabulary, let the language sink in. YAWTL isn't just a reader, it's a smart companion that helps you read, understand, and retain ancient Greek one phrase at a time.